A scary portrait of life inside Trump's White House. The sketches of life with Trump and his family that Grisham alleges are unquestionably titillating. Her claims about the former president's private interactions with Russian President Vladimir Putin, his concern about his masculine, shall we say, proportions, his puerile attitude toward women. Grisham is not nearly as well known as Trump's other press secretaries because, incredibly, she didn't hold a single press conference, arguably her principal function in the job. She offers glimpses into one of the lingering mysteries of Trump's presidency, his curiously deferential approach to Putin. Despite Trump's relentless praise, she says, Putin was cold to Trump when they met in Osaka, Japan, for a 2019 G20 meeting. So, she alleges, Trump kept trying to impress him. What's interesting is what happened later. Click here to refresh your memory. Reporters walked in and asked Trump if he was going to warn Putin to keep his hands off the upcoming election. Trump turned to Putin and said, "Don't meddle in the election, please." When Putin's translator told him what Trump said, the Russian president laughed out loud.
Grisham writes that Fiona Hill, Trump's Russia advisor, speculated to her that Putin had brought along a remarkably attractive woman as his translator to distract the president. Perhaps Putin and Hill knew about Trump's immaturity when it comes to women. In Grisham's telling, the former president comes across as either a sex-hungry adolescent or a creepy, insecure old man. When Stormy Daniels, the porn actress who says she had an affair with Trump, wrote in her own tell-all book that the president's penis was smaller than average and shaped like a mushroom character in Mario Kart, Grisham says Trump called her from Air Force One to deny this. Indeed, judging by the allegations in the excerpts, Trump was inordinately interested in his manliness and with sexual matters. Grisham writes that the former president asked her boyfriend if she was good in bed. And, in more disturbing behavior alleged of a man who has been accused of sexual misconduct by dozens of women and was caught on tape boasting about grabbing women's genitals, Grisham wrote that Trump had his eye on a young press aide, and that he invited her to his Air Force One cabin, allegedly explaining, she wrote, so he could look at her. Beyond the sophomoric, Grisham says Trump instilled a culture of lies and deceit. Casual dishonesty filtered through the White House as if it were in the air conditioning system. She writes that he instructed her to just deny the accusations by Jean Carroll, who has accused Trump of raping her. That's what you do in every situation, Grisham says he told her. Right, Stephanie? You just deny it. And indeed, Trump's press secretaries delivered faucets to the press repeatedly. Also startling are some of Grisham's Jared and Ivanka stories. According to the Washington Post, Grisham writes that Ivanka and Jared tried to push their way into meeting Queen Elizabeth II alongside the President and First Lady, a wild breach of protocol on a state visit, but were thwarted when they couldn't fit into the helicopter. Recounted Grisham, I finally figured out what was going on. Jared and Ivanka thought they were the royal family of the United States. Ivanka Trump frequently tried to go into meetings where she didn't belong, the book alleges. And Jared steadily accumulated power as Trump disposed of chiefs of staff and other key staff as one would expired bottles of milk. White House staffers, Grisham writes, dubbed the two the Princess and the Slim Reaper. Not surprisingly, Trump denies the book's claims. Also unsurprisingly, he does it in sexist, childish, defamatory terms, claiming Grisham had big problems and is acting from an emotional reaction to a breakup. Despite the shock value of the stories Grisham tells, they match closely with revelations from other recent publications. The mounting evidence is a reminder to American voters about what the country just survived and what still threatens it. A man beset with insecurities and unrestrained by principles, an admirer of dictators, still assaulting the nation's democracy, and aiming to regain power.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe